Okay, Year 12, today we're going to have a look at the use of networks in the software development cycle, how the developer can use networks and how the network affects the user in terms of the way in which the software program is developed. So, developers can use networks in order to develop code. So when we think networks, possibly the biggest example is the internet. So the internet allows access, or networks allow access to pre-existing libraries of code, like language tutorials, sample files. Basically, think about when you were creating your major project for Year 11, how much did you use the network of the internet in order to develop your resource? So it gives you access to resources. It also gives you ease of communication as a developer. So forums, online collaboration, you're able to communicate things pretty easily over networks when you are developing a particular product of code. Also, this online collaboration helps improve productivity. You can get pretty ready access to code and other resources, which greatly improves your productivity. So without the existence of the internet, or even a virtual private network, say, of developers, that kind of network means that people are able to improve productivity rather than if you were just working in isolation. By comparison, how is the use of networks affected by the user? So when you're looking at software development, response times are directly determined by the speed of the network that the software is being used on. So with the developer, we looked at how they develop the code and how networks help that. Now we're going to look at, okay, for the user, how do networks affect the running of the software program? Well, response times, so the speed of the network being used. So for example, if you had a really slow network, so things that was copper, not fibre, for example, the program tried to run on it, it might not really have a great response time if it didn't know how to handle the traffic correctly. Interface design is really dependent on a network. Say, for example, you are running a software program on a particular network that might require multiple users to access some shared files. That might require a logon screen. So the interface design is going to be really dependent on what particular network you're on. So for example, in order to access any content outside of the school, if you're at school, you have to log on through Zscaler. So the interface design changes because unlike at home where you can just get on, that's one type of network. At school, when we require authentication and to get past different things on the network, you're going to have to change the interface design and how you do things. The last one is privacy and security. So for a user, when they're using a software package on a network, shared files and access to the network can generate security concerns if it's not adequately secured. So if the network that user is using is breached, it has the potential for their privacy to be violated.